Hey guys, Abby here and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. I've noticed quite a few comments lately regarding power level in Destiny and how to reach the power cap quickly once a new season comes out. So in this video, I'm going to break it down in the simplest form. No matter what season you're currently watching this video in, there may be different activities thrown in here and there, but you should be able to follow the same strategy. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and you like looter shooter type, Destiny type guides and walkthroughs, because that's what I do here on the channel, and hit the like button if you enjoy this video. Every season we get a power level increase. For most seasons it's 50, and usually once a year when a new expansion comes out it'll be a larger increase in power. Like with Beyond Light we got a 250 increase in power. Regardless, the way we increase power is always the same, through world drops, powerful, and pinnacle rewards. Depending on the season there will be new powerful and pinnacle rewards available, so just make sure to always check your map, director, activities, all that good stuff. If you've just started playing Destiny, you may need to reach a certain power level in order to unlock these rewards, but keep an eye out for these icons on the map. They will direct you to the content that drops powerful and pinnacle rewards. There are quite a few of them, and like I said, they can change it up every season, adding some new ones here and there, but these are the ones that are currently available for Season of the Chosen. If you want to pause the screen, if I'm missing any, definitely leave a comment down below. Keep in mind that your artifact power level is also going to add a boost to your overall stats on your character screen here, but that's just an overall bonus that you earn as you level up your artifact. And when we're looking at power level increases, we're going to be talking about the gear. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to be looking at the total max equipable gear, regardless of your artifact power. But if you see some Guardians running around with over 1310 in the Season of the Chosen, that is because their artifact power is boosting them above that level. All right, let's break it down into bullet points. Number 1, always keep your highest power level item in each slot. So all of your armor pieces, all of your weapons. That's 8 different pieces that contribute to your max equipable gear. You don't need to equip this gear. At the beginning of the season, just play the game, collect world drops, including blue gear, and continue to level up. Make sure to look at the power level of each item and keep the highest ones in each slot. Keep in mind that only 1 exotic weapon and 1 exotic armor piece will count towards your max equipable power level, since you can only equip 1 of each. So if you're getting a lot of exotics, like from farming lost sectors and things like that, you may want to infuse one into a legendary item if you're not going to use it, in order to boost your power level that way. This max power level is determined by the highest power items across your inventory, vault, and postmaster, so you don't need to constantly infuse or equip this gear. And in fact, I would recommend not infusing gear as much as possible until you get up to the higher levels. If you notice you're reaching a hard stop, or you need a complete activity for that season that is a recommended power level that's higher than yours, then you can go ahead and infuse. But for the most part, you don't really need to infuse a ton of gear. Just make sure you keep those items somewhere. Number 2, powerful versus pinnacle. So as you get closer to your max power cap, you're going to need to seek out powerful and pinnacle rewards to increase your average to start seeing higher world drops. When you're under that powerful cap, which is always -10 to the max power for that season, so no matter what it is, this Season of the Chosen it is 1310, your powerful drops are always going to go up to 1300, for example. But these powerful rewards, including prime engrams, when you're under that 1300, are going to drop 3 above your max power level, and a total of 8 points is going to put you to the next power level. So you need a total of 8 across all 8 items. So you could have +3 on one, +2 on another one, and then +3 on another one, equaling 8, and that's going to bump you up to the next power level. Once you get bumped up to the next power level, now you're going to start seeing gear drop at a higher power level. You get your average up that way, and so on. So as you're playing the game, target a few powerful drops and then backfill other lower power gear with world drops. Before you reach that powerful cap, you can also target pinnacle rewards even under 1300, as they will give you a bigger boost before you hit the powerful cap. They're going to drop around +5 before you hit that power cap, and that can really really be useful if you feel stuck at a certain power level and you need a boost. Throughout the video, I'm also going to give you guys pro tips on what you can do to help increase your level even more. I use the Power Bars site, which will be linked in the description, to track my max equipable gear here. I can see across all my characters, and it highlights the items that are lower than my average equipable gear so that I can focus on getting increases for those items. Now here's a pro tip. Make sure to always decrypt prime engrams as soon as you can because they don't increase in power level once they drop. So make sure to take trips back to the tower once you get a prime engram. Make sure you pop it open as it could help increase your average power level. Some powerful engrams, like your weekly clan XP, will actually increase in power throughout the week if you leave it with Hawthorne. So if you leave it with her, you don't pick it up throughout the week, and then you increase your average power level, you can go back and pick it up and it's going to be at a higher power level. So use that to your advantage when you get stuck and you need a boost. Just keep in mind that RNG is not always going to be in your favor. Alright, here are some bonus tips for you guys on power leveling. This is what I use to make sure to get the most out of my weekly activities. Bonus tip number 1, strategically plan your Pinnacle weapon drops and other seasonal rewards when you know what slot they fill. Wait until you're in need of that gear before redeeming it from the vendor or quest. For example, in the Season of the Chosen, the Pinnacle weapon is Salvager Salvo, which is an energy weapon, so you can save it for when your energy weapon is a lower power level compared to your average. Bonus tip number 2, you can also use the kiosk in the tower. If you're planning on purchasing some of those weapons, you can use that as a way to get on-level items in slots that you know you need, so kinetic energy or heavy, in order to boost up your average level. Another bonus tip is to use your season pass strategically from this season. You can even claim gear from last season's pass if you didn't claim it, if you didn't need it. You can go on Bungie's website, I'll put a link down below, in order to grab gear from last season. And then also from this season, make sure you grab that gear as you need it when you know it's going to increase your power level. So for example, if I'm looking on the Power Bars site and I see that I only need a cloak in order to level up my hunter to the next max equipable gear power, that'll bump me 1 or 2 up, I will grab a cloak from my season pass to bump me up and then continue doing the regular power level grind, as this will allow me to get even higher drops from those rewards. Now, if you're playing all 3 classes, start with one and complete all your powerful and pinnacle rewards, then move on to the next one and so on. The class you end up on at the end of the week will most likely be the highest power in the end. Then the following week, start with that class and snake back to the rest. This helps to even out the power level across all of your characters. Of course, you can just power level one character and that's completely fine. Destiny has added in a lot of ways to increase your power, so it's perfectly viable to only have one character and get up to max power level pretty quickly. And here's a bonus tip for people with multiple classes. If you have enough legendary shards, use Xur to fill in the gaps depending on what he's selling for other classes. So for example, if your warlock is your highest power, you can purchase hunter and titan armor pieces and then transfer them over or just stick them in your vault. This is going to help boost those characters up. So if you spent the first half of the week working on your warlock and your other classes are a lot lower, then you can buy those items from Xur, transfer them over, and it gives you a little bit of a boost on that armor for when you switch over to other classes. You can also purchase as many as you want as long as Xur's in town. So if you did it at, say, the beginning of when Xur got here on a Friday, and by the end when he's leaving, you've increased your power level, you can go back and buy some more items from Xur. And the last bonus tip I'm going to give you guys is how to get armor drops for your second or third character if you're increasing a lot on one and you have a lot of high power level weapons and you need armor for those classes, and say you are 20 plus power levels below across all of your armor, you're going to need to farm a lot of world drops in order to boost your armor up to your average power level, because it's going to keep increasing as you go up. But if you are in dire need of armor on level, what I usually do is go to Europa, go to Cadmus Ridge or Eventide Ruins, find a brig and double dip the brig chests until you get all the armor that you need. Now this may take a little while because you can also get weapon drops, which could be useful other times when you need an on-level weapon drop. But you can kill the brig, whether he's in Cadmus or Eventide Ruins, kill the brig, loot the chest, sparrow out of the area until you see the name of the next area. Once you see the name pop up for the next area, just turn around, go back to where the chest was and open it again. So you can double dip in these brig chests, and honestly, it's been the best way I've found to get my armor up. Of course, you could pull from the season pass, like I said, but I don't like pulling a ton from the season pass in the very beginning. So I use this strategy in the very beginning of seasons or when I'm just starting out to power level my characters to get my armor up to snuff to match my weapons. Alright guys, I hope that helped you. I tried to make it as concise as possible, but also put in some pro tips that I feel like not a lot of people talk about in order to boost your power level quickly. And for me, I kind of do it passively, but it is useful for doing Nightfalls and harder content in order to get some good loot. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I also wanted to let you guys know that I will be streaming on YouTube for the first time in a long time on the 25th of February for the Outriders demo release. So if you're interested in saying hello, just coming by to check out the stream and chatting with me, then definitely head on over there. I'm going to be streaming at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I will see you guys then. Goodbye.